As you can see, I've added a couple of additional hypotheses from the last tutorial. One around if customer will be confused by desk moving around. We said that if we have a positive survey result with a 75% benchmark, we can conclude that it's okay. And another one around if we categorize stores into different categories based on the number of square meters, we can make even better schedules. And we'll measure this if we get a 5% increase. Just two additional examples, but I also wanted to show you how it looks like when you stack hypotheses on the top of each other. So a cluster can have as many ideas as needed connected to it. It can also have as many hypotheses as needed connected to it. And an hypothesis can have as many experiments as needed connected to it. So we're building this data structure to document all our learnings in a traceable way, which is very good when you run innovation and exploration over time. So let's add an experiment to this hypothesis. The location of the desk impacted conversion rate from 10 to 12%. So experimentation is a lot about the mindset. We can't test everything. We're going to try and do it as cheap and as easy as possible, so we get those very crucial learning as early as possible in the process. So to add an experiment, you simply click on the hypothesis you want to test. You press add, and we call this one prototype 1. And I prepared a description that I'm going to copy paste. So we're going to put the cash test on wheels into selected stores, move them around according to a fixed schedule every day. And when the store closed, we're going to compare how much they've sold for, and also, of course, look at number of customers versus visitors. And we put some metrics to this in order to see if we should move on with a extended experiment. So in this field, we put how we're going to perform or conduct the experiment and the expected result. In here, we add the actual result. We always add a contingency plan. What are we going to do if the experiment falls out successfully, or if it does not fall out successfully? We can set a status to it, so say that we're actually running this. And we can choose to notify our ideators that contributed to this cluster, saying your idea is now in an experiment. We will have the results in 2 weeks. And when we press add, the ideators will be notified, and we see that it's an orange status indicating that this experiment is running. Say that we are back with the results. We can add them in the results, and we should have added a contingency plan here. We can change the status to successful. We can choose to send a standard notification since we already informed them. We press save. We'll see the status here goes to green. When we've run enough experiments to feel confident to say that we do think that this hypothesis is verified, we change the status of the hypothesis and we press save, and we see verified. We can also choose to say that it's not verified if we don't have a positive outcome of the experiments. So we always keep track of the outcome in a very structured way based on the data and the learnings from being out testing things. So if we go back now, we see that we also have a list of hypotheses and experiments summarizing what we're working on in our dashboard. And we have now gone through a full loop, creating ideations, setting up idea campaigns, collecting ideas, organizing them into clusters, forming hypotheses, and designing experiments. So the next step for the team who runs the process is to go out and conduct those experiments. It's a very, very exciting phase. Good luck.